All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. South Asian Man Evolution, dating, self improvement advice for South Asian men, helping you all out become the most attractive, desirable version of yourselves, helping you out really get the women that you desire, the women that you truly want. Real quick, if you want to talk to me directly, you can click the pinned comment. The pinned comment. If you want to join the stream directly to talk to me. Otherwise, you can drop your questions you have on dating, self-improvement, and whatnot in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, for those of you guys that end up watching this later on down the road, check out my school community, extra resource for you guys, helping you guys level up in your dating life. Join the school community, link in the description, a bunch of extra content in there to help you become the best possible version of yourself and improve your dating life. So, all that being said, guys, got any questions? Drop them in the chat. Let's go. All right, let's see. Surprised you're not at work? What if I told you this is my main job? Nah, I usually take off. Well, I work from home and usually do this during like my lunch hour, so that's why I've been doing them a little bit earlier. But yeah, I work from home most of the day, so I can kind of get away with doing my other job from time to time during the day. And I figured it's better for me to stream in the afternoons, a lot more time than in the evening when I'm like crunched and got other shit going on. So yeah, usually work from home a couple times during the week. So that's why I've been streaming more so during the day. If you got any questions, dating, self-improvement, drop them in the chat. Also, for those of you guys that are watching now or watch later on down the road after today's over, after the stream today's over, let me know in the comments, either on YouTube or if you're watching live right now, what type of content you want me to make specifically dating related to help you out. I can only do so much in terms of thinking about what you guys want to see. So it's better for me to actually hear from you. And I'm going to do a poll at some point next week as well. But let me know what type of specific dating related content you want me to make. For those of you guys that end up watching this later, just drop them in the comment section. If you're watching this live right now, which isn't very many people, regardless, just drop it in the chat what type of videos you'd like me to make. Dating related, of course. Yeah. But as for now, if you got any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. Gotcha. I'll be off and on because I'm working remote right now. Question: I saw your video on the perfect first date, but I'm struggling to get second dates. That's funny, man. Everyone's working remote, but you know what it is when we work remote. Got to be pursuing our real passions here. Nah, I'm kidding. I like my other job too. What specifically are you struggling on when it comes to second dates? Like, what usually happens after your first dates? I guess we can start there. Actually, we could start with this. What do you do on your first dates from like start to finish? Like, what date is it? Yeah, like what type of dates do you even go on in the beginning? Guess we could analyze this from the very start to see what the issue might be. Also, other guys watching, feel free to jump in, hop on the stream, talk to me directly. You got to be 18 or older to join the stream, or you could drop your questions in the chat. I'm in a good mood today. I'm not going to roast you too hard. Don't worry. Just had a nice gym workout. And yeah. But go ahead. Elaborate a little bit for me. And for you other guys, drop your questions or click the pinned comment to join the stream directly. All right, let's get into this. First dates are usually drinks at a lounge slash rooftop or mini golf bowling. Okay, good. Good job. The dates seem fine. Lots of laughing, and I do some physical touch with the girl. Okay, good. She never texts me first after the date. A lot of times they're not going to text you first after the date. What you got to do is towards the end of the date, you simply tell her, hey, they had a great time. Love to see you again. Text me when you get back home safe. 9 times out of 10, if it was an actual good date, they'll text you back when they get home safe, and you could carry out the conversation from there the next day. That's my best advice. Usually when it comes to some physical touch, right? Again, really depending, if she's being very receptive, obviously, you're flirting, right? You're getting close to her, flirting, she seems comfortable, good body language. Some things I like to do, especially after, like, say, a mini golf or bowling, and I said this on my video, is I ask her, it's a nice evening, you want to go for a walk for a little bit? Most of the time they agree, right? Then you walk for like 5-10 minutes, ask her if she wants to sit on a park bench, continue the conversation on the bench, then slowly put your arm around and keep flirting. Then if the vibes are good, she doesn't back away when you slowly put your arm around her. She's laughing, good eye contact, going for the kiss. A lot of guys don't have the balls to do this, but I promise you, if you take these little mini steps to escalate and you go in for the kiss, you'll see your true intentions right there. She really F's with you, vibes with you, no bad body language, good receptivity. You guys start making out. Very good chance you'll get that second date, right? Now, I want to elaborate a little bit more on this. If she, say, backs away or even says like, hey, I'm not comfortable, or I don't do that on the first date, that's fine too. Go back to what I said earlier. Again, tell her you had a great night and to text you when she gets back home, then you can carry out the conversation the next day. Sometimes girls don't kiss on the first date or even the second date. It's fine. Some girls take a little bit longer to open up, whereas other girls are more flirty, more receptive, right? Really depends girl to girl. But usually when there's, a lot of flirtation, touchy-feely on both sides, good eye contact, good conversations, she's laughing, you're laughing, the vibes are there, good chance you'll get that second date. But going on forward, I would do exactly what I said at the end of your dates. At the end of your dates, tell her like, had a great night. Text me when you get back home safe. See what happens. And obviously, respect your women, respect their boundaries. Consent is sexy. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a creep. Don't do anything stupid. Read the room correctly. So that's my best advice, man. That's what I meant. I say to the girl at the end of the day, text me when you get back home safe. But so far, they never do. If I text, let's meet again for a second date, she ghosts or sends the spark. Yeah. I mean, honestly, okay. What I would do is, even if they don't text you, like when you say that, text me when you get back home safe, maybe like let it, I'd say resonate. Let the date kind of resonate in the girl's mind for like a day or two. And then maybe like text her, how's your week going? How are things been? Right? Don't start it off by like jumping to let's meet again for the second date. It shows more neediness. You kind of want to like slowly, casually get back into the texting flow that you had before you hop into, meeting up again, kind of like you were in prior to you guys meeting on that first date. So yeah, I would say, even if they don't text you when they get back home, right? That's not necessarily, more times than not, I'm not going to lie. Usually the girls that have like effed with me in the past, almost always they text me back after the first date, right? When they get back home safe. But even if, she doesn't, right? It could have been, it was late in the evening. She simply, wasn't thinking about it, or wasn't on the top of her mind, right? Like right when she got back, she got tired and just fell asleep. I don't want to lean towards all the what ifs, but what I would do is, yeah, I mean, if you don't hear back from her, give it like 2 days and just ask her like, how's her week going? How's your day been? I know that sounds super platonic and everything like that, but even just transitioning like back to the casual texting like you were prior to the first date helps a lot. Another thing you could do is recall like a moment that happened on that first date that you remember her vividly laughing about, right? That's why I always say, don't just be thinking with your dick all the time and like trying to hook up. Actually listen to the things that she says on the date. Think about like what she's saying, things that have impacted her life, things she likes to do for fun, whatever you guys were talking about on the date. Even just be more observant. If something funny happened on the date, some moment happened where she laughed, right? Bring that up. Text her about that moment that happened like on the date, right? So either reference something that created a spark during that first date, or just simply casually give it a day or two and then get back into the conversation and text her something like, how's your week going? And then transition the conversation towards the second date. So I hope that helped. They usually also slightly back away when I try to go for the kiss. Well, here's the thing, right? Like if they slightly back, like I said earlier, some girls are more receptive, some girls aren't. Some girls are more comfortable, more flirty. Some girls want to take their time with it. But honestly, if you guys were laughing playfully, like she was touching you, right? She was cool with you putting your arm around her, making good eye contact. Most of the time, they're pretty receptive to the kiss. So it might just be, dude, like maybe your appearance is a little bit off. Maybe you got bad breath, right? But even so, even if they like back away, right? Like I always say, it's not the end of the world, right? It's not awkward unless you make it awkward, right? If she backs away, just be like, no worries, it's chill. And then, continue the conversation as if that awkward moment kind of like never happened, right? But like I said, right? Just if you guys like hit it off during the first date, but you don't make out, it's not the end of the world, right? Always respect your boundaries, So really depends situation to situation from girl to girl. But most of the time, if you did all the steps right that I said and the flirtiness was there, it was good vibes, the connection was there, it was a good romantic connection, right? She seemed very receptive, no bad body language. The kiss usually works out. But if it doesn't, hey, obviously respect her boundaries. It's chill. Some girls are more comfortable getting more into that intimate zone earlier on than later. It really depends girl to girl. But make sure you're reading the room correctly, man. Don't do anything stupid, right? Respect her boundaries. All right. So any other questions? Dating, self-improvement related? Let me know in the chat. Let's get the ball rolling. We're going to go till maybe like 2:30 or so. I worked out like before this and I've been fasting, so hungry as hell, but yeah, we'll see who else comes on here. Answer any questions. It's not too crowded. For those of you guys that are tuning in, let me know like what other video dating related topics you want me to cover as I continue to make my videos. I don't want to just always just guess. I want to see like what information that you find most valuable, what information could really help you, and how I can help you the best possible way. So for those of you guys that end up watching this later on down the road, drop it in the comments what type of video topics you want me to make in my videos. And for the couple of you guys watching this live right now, just drop them in the comments as well. What type of videos you'd like me to make in the future? Do you prefer more like female gaze and like photos and dating apps? Do you prefer like cold approach? Do you prefer more like aesthetics and fitness and building a more attractive physique? Do you prefer like I'm just curious what type of videos do you prefer, more like fashion and dressing up and becoming more attractive? Curious what type of videos, dating related topics that you guys think will be most valuable for you to achieve your goals and achieve the dating life that you want. Separate tangent, but this one fucking asshole, man. Like, I was literally left my car like 5 minutes past the fucking like the time, the parking time, and I come back and I have a like a $70 ticket to pay now. Wild. 5 minutes, man. Like 5 minutes past the parking time, and I get this shit. It's like every way they want to make a quick buck out of you nowadays, they'll just fucking do it. So fucking blown. I prefer more female gaze, how to maximize photos with that, and maybe some infield cold approaches. I also like the whiteboard style vids. Well, yeah, man. The whiteboard vids are here to stay for sure. I love doing those. That's going to be my like go-to format for most of my content. Apologies to people that don't like it, but I'm not the best speaker. If you've been watching me for a while, I lose my train of thought. I ramble on a lot. I stutter sometimes when I talk. I've always been a good writer, a really good communicator. On my like SATs, I scored like really high on the writing section. I've always done good on like essays and stuff growing up. So when I write, I just communicate a lot better. So yeah, the whiteboard vids are definitely here to stay. But definitely, yeah, I'll try and throw in some infield. The infield is going to be interesting with the whiteboard style vids, but I think what I'll do is I'll have a clip of me doing the approach for like a little bit in the beginning, and then I'll hop into the whiteboard vid and talk about what I did good to help you. Female gaze, yeah, that's a very easy topic. I love talking about that one. Photos, I've done so many videos on dating app photos, but if you need the help, I always got you on those. Yeah, man. But by the way, yeah, I cover all of these in my school community. I mean, I think it's a really good investment, so definitely be sure to check it out. A link in the description. It's just an additional resource. And yes, if you're wondering, it is paid, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm not even asking you to do like a monthly subscription. It's literally a one-time fucking payment. I mean, literally less than the cost of like a meal or dinner meal. Yes, it's paid, but if you want to take your dating life to the next level and you can have even more communication with me, as well as a ton of exclusive extra content, I really break it down in a lot more detail too in the school community. So for those of you guys watching right now live, or those of you guys watch this later, why not invest in yourself? Join the school community, man. Super, super great resource. Link in the description. Check it out. The handwriting on the whiteboards could be neater, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the handwriting. I mean, okay, yeah, I'll say my handwriting's not the best. It never was. I used to get yelled at as a kid for that shit, but yeah, I'll try better to be more neat. I think it's just like, yeah, my bad on that. I'll try and write a little bit neater. I've always had kind of bad handwriting, I will say that, but I'll do a better job for sure. My next video coming out, I think I did a little bit more neat on the handwriting for sure. But as long as you guys understand where I'm pointing to the whiteboard and what I'm trying to say, since I'm actually just speaking to on every point that I listed, it's all that matters. But yeah, I'll work on my handwriting for sure. All right, we got 3 people watching. Drop your questions in the chat or join the stream directly by clicking the pinned comment. Let's go. You guys probably got a lot of questions. I mean, it's August. In 2 months, it's about to be cuffing season. These women are going to be single AF, going to be looking for some guys to date. This is prime time on this niche on YouTube. Stuff's about to get lit. You guys better be in phenomenal shape in terms of just everything. Cuffing season's right around the corner. That October, these girls going to be looking for a nice dude to snuggle up with. It's going to be pumpkin spice latte season at Starbucks. Going to be cold approaching. Telling you, fall weather, nice romantic dates, coffee, grab a coffee, go for a walk in the park under that nice fall weather. For those of you guys that are in the US at least, leaves changing color, right? Starbucks about to be lit with those healthy, holistic girls everywhere, you know? Shout out to my Stacy's and Becky's out there, right? I know a lot of you brown guys are into that type. Don't cap. But yeah, cuffing season's coming up. Better get into fantastic shape soon. Easy money coming up in terms of cold approach. The dating apps are going to be lit. I'm telling you, guys better be paying attention, grinding, working hard, becoming the best possible version of yourself, right? It's about to be easy money in the next 2 months in terms of dating and even getting into a relationship. So keep watching my vids, keep implementing, and join the school community, man. Link in the description. It'll accelerate your progress a lot further. Anyways, yeah, link in the description. Join the school community. If you guys got any other questions, dating, self-improvement, attraction, cold approach, developing an aesthetic physique, even anything dating related, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I guess because you mentioned the female gaze, we can talk a little bit about that. I know I made so many videos on the female gaze, but basically the female gaze are the traits and qualities that women basically find attractive in a guy. That's really what the female gaze is, right? So some things that are very, very easy, quick female gaze hacks, you could say. Obviously, developing an aesthetic physique on your dating app profile, having photos of you sitting down at like a bar, a restaurant with good style, good fashion, right? Dope background, gets the girl envisioning what it's like to be on a date with you, gets the girl gazing about you, thinking about what it's like to be on a date with you. That's what the female gaze is really all about, right? Basically, female interests. You don't want to go necessarily for like male interests, right? So male interests are like fancy sports car, bro science, like physique pick in like a gym locker room, or bro science like physique pick in like a weight room with weights in the back. Female gaze physique pics should be candid, natural environments, right? So walking around by the pool side, right? Maybe you're at a pool party with your shirt off, right? Maybe you're at the beach, right? These women love going on the beach. You're walking around on the beach. You got like a surfboard in your hand, right? Those are all like female gaze physique photos, whereas the male gaze physique photo is you like mid-set, like doing a dumbbell curl, or you taking like a gym locker room selfie. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Some other female gaze hacks is like having a photo of you with like an iced coffee, right? Women love Starbucks, iced coffees, right? Dope environments too. Nice, like romantic kind of environments, like rooftops as well. Good style, fashion, showcasing that sex appeal, right? All pertaining to the female gaze. All right, so looks like not many people watching right now, so we're just gonna chill a little bit, see who else comes on the stream on this chill little Thursday afternoon. Any of you guys got other questions? Drop them in the chat. I just shout out to my boy Radfire here participating. Any questions, dating and self-improvement? Drop them in the chat. Random question, but I noticed that sometimes you rock the beard, but sometimes shave it clean. Isn't the beard better? I'd say like not a thick beard, but just like a light, like either a 5 o'clock shadow, kind of like what I got, or like anywhere from like the stubbly to like 5 millimeter to like 10 millimeter, right? So sometimes, yeah, I rock it dense to like 10 millimeter, not milliliter, millimeter, 10 millimeter, even sometimes 12 millimeter, but nothing more than that. I don't think I've ever rocked like a very thick, dense beard. I might have like when I used to do my videos, like way back when I first started. But no, I always experiment with my looks from time to time, right? I think that's a good thing to do. I always say you're gonna look better with at least like a light stubble or like a 5 millimeter length beard, right? That's like trimmed and shaped up. But sometimes, I do, it does get kind of itchy for me personally, right? And I do have a little bit of an issue with like my beard where it's not like very thick sometimes when it grows out. It's like kind of patchy. So what I like to do to like kind of help regrow it and shape it back up is I clean shave it, then minoxidil it, and it'll like grow back thicker sometimes depending on the cycle of hair growth, right? But yeah, no, I just experiment around with it. Honestly, from going on dates, I've had women tell me that some women have honestly loved the beard. Some women have just been like, I like it with a little dense of like a 5 o'clock shadow, kind of like what I got right now. I know the lighting's not the best, but yeah, at the end of the day, as long as you don't make it too thick, like not really past the 8 millimeter mark or not really past the 10 millimeter mark, that's fine. But yeah, no, I don't think I ever rocked the beard like that thick. Regardless, you know. But right now, yeah, I'm growing it back out. A couple of weeks, probably gonna clean shave it, right? I usually just do this thing where I kind of cycle through. Me personally, I don't really see a difference from when I go on dates, right? They usually end up pretty successful, regardless of beard or no beard. But at the end of the day, as long as you're groomed, you're well groomed, you got like a trimmed beard. It's not too thick and bushy, right? It doesn't really matter that much. The beard can, and it really depends, right? From girl to girl, younger girls, say from the age of like 20 to like 23, I've noticed really prefer the more like clean shaven look. Whereas women that are more mature, like 25, 26 to 7, 28, 25 to like 35 in that range, prefer more of like the bearded type of look, right? I don't 35 is kind of old. I wouldn't date a girl that old, but women in their like late 20s, right? They prefer, more of the beard. Whereas women like that are 25 and younger, I've noticed prefer more of like the lighter stubble or clean shaven look. It makes sense, right? Older women will be more attracted to older men most of the time, right? Until they get to like that age where they're, you know, 35 plus, then they're kind of just like shooting the shot at whatever, for whatever reason they didn't really have a successful dating life and they're 35 and single, right? But hey, I mean, it is what it is, right? Not trying to go too red pill on this stream, but yeah. Any other questions, dating, self-improvement, drop them in the chat. But yeah, no, I mean, I like experimenting around with my looks in terms of the facial hair sometimes. For me, though, the biggest thing that makes me stand out 100% is the body game. And I don't even have that amazing of like a bodybuilder physique. I just got a lean, aesthetic, muscular physique, right? So the physique has always been like kind of like my safety net, and which is why I tell all of you guys, like, that's like your safety net. Even if you're not like the best looking dude in the world, maybe if you don't have like the best genetics, or even if you're not like the tallest guy in the world, everybody can get into great shape. Everybody can build an aesthetic physique. That's always going to be like your safety net, even if you're not like the best looking guy in the world or you're not the tallest guy in the world, right? If I wear like boots, I'm like maybe 6'1". I've always been like right there at like 6. It's like stopped growing in like end of high school, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm not I wouldn't consider myself the tallest guy in the world by any means, but I've always been around the 6-ish range. Um, but nowadays, like, I don't like when people are like coping, oh, it's because you're tall. First of all, I'm not that tall. Second off, height in itself shouldn't matter, right? Don't use height as like a coping mechanism, right? As like why you're not getting the women. At the end of the day, you should control what you actually can control: your style, grooming, fashion, fitness, social skills. Control what you actually can control and don't cope about the height, right? Even me, I'm not that short, but I'm not that tall either. But it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I'm not, what's his face? We're not all King 68 the Great here, right? Or Safir or that other dude, what's his name? Okan, right? The dudes that are like really tall and then like on IG, they just post no value, honestly. None of those guys post much value. They just literally post clips of them walking down the street. And when you're that tall, you're going to stand out. Of course, you're going to get female gazed. Of course, you're going to get more looks. And especially at nighttime, of course, you're going to get a bunch of like drunk women who are horny coming up to you, right? You're standing out when you're a super tall dude. And yeah, is that their advantage in a sense because they're super tall and God bless them with their genetics? Yeah, but what are you going to do? Just keep watching that stupid content? Or are you going to actually promote or are you going to actually improve your life, right? So yeah, we're not all blessed with like the best genetics, but anybody can control, their looks. I think everybody can become at least a 6 out of 10. At least a 6 out of 10. SMV, facially, no excuse for you not to become at least a 6 out of 10. Once you hit like a 6 out of 10 sexual market value level, you'll get the dating life that you truly want. Even if it's not with like the high tier Stacy's, as long as you're getting like, some options, girls that are cute, that you find attractive at least a little bit, you've kind of made it, right? So every man should level up to a 6 out of 10 if you're not already there at the very least on fashion, physique, style, social skills, money. No reason your sexual market value can't be a 6 out of 10. All right, I noticed we got a bunch of people hopping on the stream now. We're up to 4 right now. So if you want to talk to me directly, click the link, the pinned link, and hop on the stream. I'll answer your questions. I can even give you some like looks maxing advice too, if that's your thing. So click the pinned comment, hop on the stream directly, or drop your comments in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Topics include dating, self-improvement. If there are any videos you want me to make in the future for this channel, let me know in the comments of this video or in the comments of the chat. Also, drop a like for the stream, man. Drop a like. Drop a comment below. Let's get this thing going. Questions, dating, self-improvement related, drop them in the chat. I see at least 3 to 4 of you guys watching actively, so come on. Drop them in the chat. I got you. Or join the stream directly by clicking the pinned comment, and you can talk to me directly. Think of these as like basically, if this is your first time watching the stream, this is basically like mini coaching sessions, right? Your chance to get one-to-one coaching directly for free right on here, right? Obviously, it's not going to be a full-length like coaching session. I'm not going to have you one-on-one for like an hour, but hey, if you want to hop on, talk to me for like 5, maybe even 10 minutes, if it doesn't get too crowded, then yeah, I'm happy to help, man. So any questions, dating, self-improvement related, drop them in the chat. Guys are quiet. Also, I was mentioning before, for those of you guys that are just hopping on right now, I was talking about this before. Any video ideas that you want me to cover, any new types of videos you want me to make on a specific dating related topic, let me know in the comments or in the chat. I got you. I want to get to see the perfect viewer, like what specifically you need help with, because as of right now, I'm kind of just like guessing, as I continue to build this up. I'm kind of just like guessing what you kind of want me to see and help you with. But if you want a specific topic, I got you. So let me know. in the comments in this chat if you're watching live. Also, check out the school community link in the description. You can get extra help from me and even coaching directly from me in there one-to-one if you so choose. But just a great additional resource, school community, link in the description. We're probably going to be going till like 2:30, right? So, yeah, let me know if you've got any other topics you want me to talk about, cover on this live stream. I'm in a good mood. Don't worry. I won't roast you too hard. It's funny. I was taking a break from dating apps. I guess if you guys don't know, I was dating a girl. I was in a relationship, or I don't even know if you want to call it a relationship. Basically, we were dating for like 2 months. We broke up about like, I don't even remember. That just shows how much she's like not on my mind. But we broke up like let's say like a month and a half ago. And it's funny because when I hopped back on Hinge and Dill Mill, and I think those are the only two I use at the moment, but it's like the same girls are still on there from like months ago, right? Even when I took a break from dating apps completely once for like 7 months, after I got my hair transplant, I wasn't dating at all for like 6 months, 7 months. Even when I like re-downloaded the dating apps, it's like the same women from like 6 to 7 months are still on there. So sometimes, if you see the same women again, here's a little bit of a red flag. If you see the same women on dating apps from like, say, I don't know, maybe you took a break for like 6, 7 months and then you come back and you see the same women on there, or you see the same women even from like years ago when you were on the dating apps, right? That's kind of a red flag, right? Especially if they're like a little older in their 30s. It's like, okay, come on. Like, what is going on, right? Also, something I want to talk about is I think the perfect age range to date is anywhere from 24 to 28. That's like the golden spot, right? Usually when you get to girls in their like later 20s, like 28, 29, in their 30s, right? They've been through a lot, gone through a lot of relationships, might have had, they're a lot more like skeptical, right? Every little like mess up that you make is considered kind of like a red flag, right? So it's better to go for girls between the age of like 24 to 28, right? I specifically use that age range because I know a lot of you guys watching my channel, according to the YouTube analytics, are anywhere from 26, 25, mid-20s, right? So mid-20s, early 30s, like anywhere from mid-20s to early 30s. That's like the main demographic that I've noticed from guys who watch this channel. But yeah, the best age range I think really is 24 to 28 in terms of the women you want to date. Obviously, if you're an older guy watching this, right, you get to like 40 years old, that's a little creepy dating a 23 or 24-year-old, right? So it's a little bit different in that scenario. But I know the vast majority of you guys watching this channel are in your 20s and 30s. So that advice kind of doesn't apply to you if you're a super older dude, right? You kind of got no choice to date, 30s, but most of you guys are in your 20s and 30s watching this. I'd say the best age range is anywhere from like 23 to 27, 24 to 28 in terms of the women you want to date. They're super young, tend to be immature, ditzy, not really quality women. They're always want to like go out, spontaneous, go out drinking and all that bullshit, right? You know, as you're a guy who's trying to not just get women, but be on self-improvement and level up your life, right? You don't got time to be going out to bars and clubs and drinking and doing all that degenerate shit, right? It's going to completely F up your progress as a man in self-improvement. In this competitive world we live in, right? In terms of at least dating to a certain extent, right? You need every advantage you can get, you know? I will never put, crazy alcohol in my body, right? It gives me a disadvantage, right? You know, my physique will go downhill if I drink, right? Need to maintain an aesthetic physique at all times, right? You're never going to catch me partying at some stupid ass nightclub till like 2 a.m., right? Not only are you killing your mental health, your sleep, your physical health, right? It's just a degenerate environment. I don't care what people say, but 99% of the time, you're not going to find a quality girl in some cringy ass nightclub, you know? Surround yourselves, put yourself in the environments where you expect to find quality women, whether it be coffee shops, bookstores, grocery stores, farmers markets, fitness classes, right? Um, Yeah, intramural sports, co-ed intramural sports, running clubs, going to the gym at like earlier than like 10 a.m. on like weekends, right? It's always going to be quality women. That's funny, man. There's a couple people watching, but my boy Radfire is here spitting out the questions. The rest of you guys can chime in too, man. Give me some questions to answer. But he says, yeah, it's wild. I see sometimes the same chick from Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder. Yeah, sometimes the stuff is just sometimes out of your control. Sometimes there's like a lot of internal trauma that these women like go through, right? Maybe they just have like super high expectations because they went through like a really bad like breakup when they were younger. So, it's like every single guy that they date, it's like X, X, X. Oh, he showed up like 5 minutes late. X, which by the way, you shouldn't be showing up late to your dates, but it's like every little thing, it's like the older a lot of these women get, they're just standards tend to just get higher and higher, which is wild. But that's why I also say, you're better off in like the mid 20s dating women who are in like their mid 20s as opposed to like, 30s, right? So yeah, it is pretty wild. But if you keep seeing the same girl on Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder for 6 months, 7 months, a year, even longer than a year, then yes, even if you guys match, she's probably not the type of girl that's gonna make it long term with you. I'm just saying, at least. Probably not the type of girl that you want to date. Kind of unrelated, but I'm curious, like, what other content creators do you watch? For those of you guys, I know it's like in the middle of the day, so a lot of you are going to probably watch this back later on, but what other content creators do you guys watch in like this dating and self-improvement space? I'm just very curious. If you guys got any questions, dating, self-improvement related as well, drop them in the chat. I'm gonna hop off in probably half an hour or so, but looks like the stream was the Radfire show. But hey, I mean, it's just someone on here. But yeah, as it continue to grow, more people will join in on the streams. Questions, dating, self-improvement, drop them in the chat. That was kind of weird earlier. There was a time span. There was like 5 people watching the stream live, but then all of a sudden they all just the number of people watching live, it just dropped to 0, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a good 29 minutes or so more. Let's end this thing at 2:30 sharp. See if anyone else comes on. Any other questions, dating related? Drop them in the chat. What do you guys think about girl dating coaches? I'm very curious what your opinions are on them. I'm not going to say anything too much, but if potentially I brought on a guest who was a girl dating coach, what would you think? Would you take her advice seriously or no? Because I'll be honest, some of the advice that some of these women dating coaches give is absolute trash. But there are some little things that they do say, which I do agree with. And you do get a lot of that female gaze perspective from them. So, yeah, I'm curious. If you guys watch this later on, if I were to have a live stream where I brought on a guest, like a female dating coach, would you even be interested in that? Or would you just be like, nah, I can't take her seriously? Which I don't blame you. I mean, for the most part, I don't really take them that seriously. It's kind of a grifting space with them. But there's some of them that I do think a lot of their advice is pretty solid. It's not going to be 100% aligned eye to eye because at the end of the day, they don't know what it's like as a man going through life. They never will. But sometimes their advice is decent, right? Curious what your thoughts are. So if you guys watch the stream later, drop a comment in the chat or drop a comment, I guess in the comments section, right? You can't really drop it in the chat if you watch the stream later. But for those of you guys that are watching it live right now, let me know what you think about that topic. And don't worry, it's not going to be a regular thing at all. It's always going to be me. This is my personal brand. But every once in a while, you know, if I have like a guest, doesn't even have to be like a girl dating coach, could be like anybody in this space. Let me know if there's anybody you want me to see or anybody, I guess, you want me to potentially bring on as for like maybe like interview, a guest or whatever. I could try and reach out. That's why I kind of asked the first question earlier. What other content creators do you guys watch? No promises though, because I'm still like kind of small, but in terms of my following, but you never know, right? Yeah, it's as a small, you know, YouTube channel, it's harder to get a lot of the bigger YouTubers to come on as like a guest, but if you guys want me to try, I can do it. But obviously, you know, I know this is my personal brand and you watch me for me. That's why you're subscribed. You want my advice. Every once in a while on these live streams, though, if you would be interested to see maybe a guest or two, who knows? Let me know. Just an idea. think I'm gonna give it another 20 minutes or so. Seems like I've been talking to myself on here, but you never know who might come on. Another thing for those of you guys that end up watching this later on, right? Or if you're watching this live right now, what was like the video of mine that made you be like, yo, I F with this guy's content. Let me subscribe. Kind of want to know that too. Yeah, in terms of the big three, Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder, say Hinge is if you're gonna invest in online dating, and that's what I tell guys. If you're gonna invest in online dating, Hinge is basically the king. Bumble, Tinder is just like all over the place, right? You can't take any of these girls seriously on those two, or maybe you could, but in terms of quality, especially if you're somebody who's looking for a serious relationship, right? Any dating app you're going to pay for, right? They're all pay to play, but if you're going to invest in one of them, always recommend Hinge as number one. And for those of you Indian guys who are trying to get with Indian girls, right? Don't want to, get into a long-term relationship with the girl that's like not Indian. If you don't care, then yeah, Hinge all the way. But if you do care and you just date, say, Indian girls and want to get into a serious relationship with an Indian girl, still keep Hinge, but then I'd add in Dillmill. It's like the South Asian dating app. It's basically a brown version of Hinge and Bumble, if you really think about it. But yeah, the two I recommend for South Asians, Indians, brown guys, Hinge and Dillmill. In terms of investing, they're all pay to play dating apps, right? It is what it is. I wouldn't even waste my money on Bumble and Tinder. Stick with Hinge. And if you're into brown girls, invest in Dillmill. Those are my top two I would go to. Hinge and Dillmill. All right, it's 2:10. Doesn't seem to be a lot of traction right now, so we'll see. We'll give it 10 more minutes, then I'm gonna hop off for the day. Get myself like a nice steak or something. Well, I guess you Hindu guys can't really eat that, right? I don't know. That's like my go-to protein, steak. A lot of chicken is too dry for me, but yeah, give myself like a nice steak after this. All right. Questions, dating, self-improvement, drop them in the chat. Got 9 minutes and I'm hopping off. run through, see if I addressed everyone's comment, or I guess just the Radfire's comment. See if anyone else hops on. If not, I guess we'll end the stream early in the next 3 minutes or so. I know I said I'd give you till 2:20, but the traction isn't there and no one's watching, right? Any last questions on dating, self-improvement related topics? Drop them in the chat. Be ending this live stream pretty soon. Also, just as a reminder, let me know what video topics, dating related again, that you find interesting. And I'll try and make them more of those types of videos. All right, final minute. Anybody in this last final minute? I know I see a couple of you all watching. Any final questions? Or anybody last second want to hop on the stream and talk to me directly? Now's your chance before I end the stream. All right, going once. Going twice. All right. It's 3 times. All right. Well, interesting live stream. Very chill. Shout out to this dude, the Radfire, for coming on, answering, and at least giving me some topics and questions that I could help and assist you with. Shout out to you right over here, Radfire, for coming on and giving me questions to assist with. So live streams like this are every other Thursday at around this time, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern time. It's just the finalized time that works best with my schedule. I know I keep changing it, but ultimately, this is a time period that I've decided just works best with my schedule overall. I'm not too tired, most energetic around this time. My brain juices are flowing better earlier on in the day, just how my body functions better. So, yeah, got more brain power, more room to think, around this time in the mid-afternoon. So live streams like this, Q&A, South Asian Man Evolution, every other Thursday at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Again, that's every other Thursday, 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Be sure to like the stream, drop a comment below. Let me know what topics, dating related, that you want to see in the future on my whiteboard videos, right? Let me know your thoughts. Again, drop a comment below, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my school community, South Asian Warriors, just an additional resource for you. You'll be able to take your dating life to the next level. You'll get direct access to me also helping you with your dating life. Join the school community, man, South Asian Warriors. Link in the description. Again, reminder, like the stream, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.